Anyone that tells you that they know more than 3% of what occurred here is delusional, or they're a lunatic fit for an insane asylum. You know, that's what one federal soldier said. He said that the coming generations will never be able to comprehend what occurred here because they wasn't here. Another federal said that the pandemonium of hell turned loose was like a Methodist love feast compared to this. Now, I don't want to offend anybody, I'm Methodist. Back in the old days, they were very animated, did a lot of yelling and whatever. Now they're very subdued now, by the way, whatever. But there's no way I can tell you what is occurring by these guns. I can tell you, but I can't comprehend this. Here comes a Lieutenant Gillespie of the Missouri Brigade coming right over there with an axe. Runs up here at this corner and throws the axe inside there, hits the federal artillery right between the eyes, splits his head open like a pumpkin. Another Confederate pushes his way in there. They call it a pick with an artillery. Wham! Stabs him in the chest. Another Confederate pushes his way in here. They take an axe, hit him at the top of Maurice's head. It goes in the middle of his chest, right there. Another Confederate pushes his way at this corner, and they fire the gun. They said he was scalded like a hog, and chunks of flesh were falling off of him as he fell over dead. That's why they didn't want to remember this battle. And we hadn't even got started yet. There's so many bodies around these two guns, they had to stop to pull the bodies out of the way to keep on firing. At the same time, the Missourians, pow, coming at this section, attacking this way. Major Patrick Caniff, commander of the 3rd and 5th Missouri from Tipperary, Ireland, long blonde hair, shot off his horse in his shoulder, 20 yards from the trenches, pushing himself up on the left elbow. Mini ball hits him. Here goes out his chin. He's died instantly. Colonel Elijah Gates command the 1st and 3rd Missouri as they're coming toward the works. We're standing right here, by the way. He wounded the right arm, wounded the left arm. With the range of the bridle in his mouth, they carried him off the field. General Francis Cockrell, wounded here, and here, carried off the field. Colonel Hugh Garland, mounted, riding toward the works. 3 color bearers would go down with the color guard, Brantley, Donovan, and Smith. He says, hand me the colors. He's mounted, they hand him the colors. He rides toward the works, no more than 40 yards from us. He shot off his horse. The horse was laying over his legs. Dear God in heaven, take care of my wife and children. Please get this horse off my legs. They go to help him. 2 head wounds and dies instantly. If I pause because I can almost see this when I'm describing, and I lose my train of thought, and I have to come back to you to be able to describe this. I apologize. At the same moment, Quarles, Tennesseans, with the 1st Alabama, is coming in this direction, so that's only 50 yards from us, maybe 60. General Quarles wounded 4 times. All his staff is killed. All the color guard of the 50th Tennessee goes down, and those colors are captured. All the color guard of the 53rd Tennessee goes down, and those colors are captured. 42nd Tennessee color bearer plants the flag on top of the works. Joe Campbell, an Irishman, the Federal with his sword in a backhand motion to Sheldon. Right here, I'm not going to get you, but whack, decapitate you. You're still holding on to the pole for 20 seconds, and you know what it's doing. As he falls over dead, those colors are not captured, by the way. The 1st Alabama colors of Quarles' brigade planted on top of the works. And that Lieutenant William Barnett carried those colors to the works, and he's killed, and those colors are captured. At the same time, Shelley's Alabamians are hitting these works. A 17-year-old blue-eyed youth shot in the neck. He's flailing his arms. He's dying. He's terrified. And nobody had a rag to put around his neck. Now, Clay is coming up shooting. You're hit. You fall on him. And now Greg's coming up, you're shooting, you fall on him. Now Brian's coming up, you're shooting, you fall on him. And then I'm coming up, he disappears under 4 deep, he's found under 5 deep dead. Captain Bankston, the 30-some out of the 29th Alabama, plant the flag on top of the works. He came back, and so many bullets hits the pole, it breaks it. He rips it off the pole and shoves it in his shirt. General Walthall had 3 horses shot out from underneath him as well. Do you remember Robert Bringhurst who went to battle on crutches? He just down there, no more than 60 yards, with 7 bullet wounds, will lie in the ditches all night long. W.E. Marree from Gettysburg moved to Tennessee in 1860 when his wife and daughter died. They're buried at Culp's Hill, Evergreen Cemetery. I read his diary, Battle of Gettysburg going on. I wish I were there, better I'm not. He would die in these ditches here as well. At the same time, we're not going to, because of the logistics, and we have to park by that railroad track, we're going to go that way. but it's too dangerous. I don't want to get you hurt. But at the same time, Lawrence Division, General Scott's wounded. Remember the color sergeant, James Sandlin, said, "Oh, Lord of rest for thee I sigh." He was killed there. The 35th Alabama colors were captured. Featherston's Mississippi Brigade, the 3rd, 22nd, and 33rd Mississippi colors plant on top of the works. And those colors are captured, and those color bearers are killed. And here's where these 10 guns are. Right behind that railroad track, right there, are blasting this way. Granger, where Clay's Foot is blasting away. And they take 2 guns to the railroad track and depress them, because this is a hill, and are firing down on them. They said a rabbit couldn't live in that railroad cut. They're being disemboweled and blown to pieces. Artillery shells are going through a lot of men. The 15th Mississippi colors are playing on top of the works, and that color bearer is killed. And that's where Colonel Mike Farrell, the Irishman, was wounded in his right arm and chest area. I'll tell you about him at his grave later. And the bodies are stacking and stacking, where, dear God in heaven, it's beyond horror, just beyond horror. By 5:03, it's pitch dark. So General Gordon is in the angle, loading like a private. "What shall we do, General?" He said, "Just keep fighting, just keep fighting." And a Federal yells to him, "Come on over, I'll save you." He climbs over, and another Federal clubs him, getting ready to ban him to death, but he's saved. By 5:30, 6 o'clock, men are trying to surrender in that angle. And one Federal yells out, my God, they're trying to surrender." And another one said, "Kill them, shoot them down and kill them. We don't have to feed them, we don't have to take care of them, kill them." Now, is that brutal? Yes. Is that horrible? Yes. Is that war? Yes. And, a wounded man can kill you like a well one can. And if I peg Sheldon and I'm walking by, he's moving, modern military, pop, 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 you take him out. You don't want him behind you to shoot you or your comrades in the back. And they're shooting them down in that angle. Pat Claiborne, while it's still dark, you know, my hero by now, I think about where that White House is, right there. His first horse is mortally wounded, maybe where the tractor is. Horse is mortally wounded, and it rides on top of the creature and dies. He's in the process of mounting a second horse when an artillery shell just disembowels the poor animal. It collapses to pieces, and now at the moment of his destiny, 36-year-old Major General, engaged to be married, waving his kepi hat with his sword drawn, disappears in the smoke, and 40 to 50 yards in front of the chin, which I think is about where that brown dirt is there, that mini ball hits him right below the chest, through the heart. I think he's dead before he hits the ground. I hope he is. Not only a few seconds on that ground, as this thing is just absolutely going to pieces. One Federal said the devil took the ground here. And then how can I describe these 2 guns and what they are doing here? But look behind you. Even with the houses, look how this gently slopes down. This is an artillery machine. Remember, double shot canister, that's cutting a swath from the left of that White House past the other side of that tractor over there. And dear God, the bones, you can hear the bones snapping. Now you got an idea why nobody wanted to remember this? Confederates wouldn't talk about it unless you served or you served. But what am I supposed to tell the women and children? What am I supposed to tell you if you didn't serve? You couldn't understand. I don't want to remember it. I can't, and I can't ever forget it. James Coghlan, who Claiborne was so kind to, remember at the Battle of Atlanta, that Lieutenant Cox, he shot between the eyes right here. And of course Claiborne is killed almost virtually in front of him. Again, that's why a lot of people didn't want to remember this. Well, how can anybody imagine this kind of horror? And the bodies are stacking and stacking, and the next morning, because we had a lot to see, bodies are 5, 6, 7 deep like cordwood. Literally, men are frozen in death, standing up dead because they couldn't fall down. When he placed the fall, they counted 57 bullet holes on one body. Why'd they do that? I think they're shell shocked. Dr. F.E.P. of Larry's brigade is killed. I can't get his name. There's 2 doctors killed right here alone. Claiborne's laying on his back with his kepi semi over his face. They place him in a wagon with John Adams. Still light. Adams take a shoulder wound across the railroad track. Staff begs him to leave the field. He said, I'll see my men through. He swings his brigade around this mess and starting riding toward the works of the 65th Illinois. We're standing right here, just about 50 yards from us. What do you think the Federals are screaming as they see this enemy on a white horse coming toward them? Kill him, kill him? No. Dear God in heaven, don't shoot the man. Don't shoot him. Don't shoot him. He's too brave to die. Don't shoot him. They did that on both sides. Indiana color bear at Pickett's Mill grabbed the flag. He was alone waving in front of the Texans. They cheered him. Let him go because it was murder to kill him. He's alone. He's too brave. They thought it was a pity to kill somebody that brave. General Adams on Charlie leaps the ditch, straddling the works, that's about 60 yards from us, grabs the flag of the 65th Illinois. He shot through both legs, doing a lull in the fighting. They, the Federals, carried the General Adams behind the cotton gin. They placed cotton underneath his head, gave him water, and told him, sir, you're too brave to die. He thanked them for their kindness. His main concern, he didn't want to die in a hospital. He wanted to die on the field with his men. And his last words right there behind that gin was, "'Tis the duty of a soldier to die for his country." 10 years later, remember what Black Jack Casement said earlier, I won't repeat it. He became aware of General Adams' widow in St. Louis. He sent her General Adams' wedding ring, wallet, watch, and saddle, and a letter, a portion thereof. "We wish to God in heaven, madam, we had the ability to bring back a man so brave, he was just too brave to die." In a worthy act of a worthy adversary. The soldiers got over it a lot quicker than the descendants and the ones stayed at home. They knew each other very, very well. They fought each other from eons back. And I'll tell you at the end of the tour here a story from a Federal soldier in Pennsylvania about this battle. And the bottom line, because we got a lot to see, I could keep you here for 4 hours right here alone. But the next morning, William Campbell was laying here with his leg nearly blown off. It took him back to the field hospital 80 yards from us, amputated. John Ruth, 6 Arkansas, had both arms amputated over there. A Mississippi sharpshooter, his name escapes, Owens. His leg was amputated back there. The point here in 1970, they were burying their Chihuahua dog back there. Now, this point basically there. And bones start coming up. They've been sawed. More bones coming up, more bones coming up. They call the police. That's the amputation pit. There was no head. So what are we supposed to do? We can't do it. And it's still there. It is still there. And we try to keep it quiet where it is because these idiots would dig them up. And and they buried them in these ditches. There's 32 bones in 1 foot. This is a cemetery. I don't care what you put on it, it's still a cemetery. The only thing I'm gonna say about the ghosts is this. I'm more scared of the living than I ever am the dead. I'm not scared of any ghosts. And I love to see one. I have a lot of questions to ask. Maybe they don't come to people like us because we live with them every day. Why do they have to show themselves to us? But they swear that domino piece is haunted. People have quit over it. Things fly around. They say, the managers now, the new ones say, you don't say nothing about this. You keep quiet or you're fired. And they swear that White House built in 1874 is haunted. They found a Confederate skeleton here in 1905 with the rifle still in his hands. I've held that rifle. The ramrod's still in the barrel. They missed him when they reinterred. Of course, obviously others. This is I'm not worried about ghosts in the least. Unless it's carrying his head in his arm like a football. But would I want to live on this street? No. Why? Bad energy, bad juju, bad ground, whatever. I wouldn't want to live here. I wouldn't want to live at Fredericksburg in the Maurice Heights while those houses are 50 yards from us. No, bad energy to me. Others might laugh or disagree, whatever. No, I wouldn't want to live here. And it's negative. And what Colonel Virgil Murphy, 17th Alabama, was captured. They took him by the gin. He thought this was unholy ground. Unholy ground. And the Federals said, no, my life was changed forever. Seeing this attack is worth 10 years of my life. And he rethought this, wrote it in the diary. The Battle of Franklin is a monument as an enduring his time. But now you're just getting a tiny idea. And we got a lot more to go through. I warned you about this, a lot of maneuvering yesterday, a little whatever today. But now we're getting into the nuts and bolts of the 9th level of hell multiplied by 10 times. But should they be forgotten? No. They earned the right to be remembered. And by the way, where those dumpsters are, a Congressional Medal of Honor recipients, that means Federals, gained their medal by those dumpsters where I've seen rats the size of dogs over there. but that's going to be gone too, by the way. And I did not eat that rat either, by the way. Any questions so far?
Is this a situation like Gettysburg